the guru of Squad Double Zero, the assassin like no other. Yes, I'm the best at what I do. One of the most notorious in the YouTube anime and manga community. Google, man. I know. Look. First and foremost, I don't want Google to shut me down for this one. But the truth must be said. I know people have come across Google, have come at Google, have talked about Google in the past. I've been told about certain individuals, but people don't expose like I do when I come at it. I have legitimate complaints about the company of Google. But before that, let's paint this picture of what Google is. Now, look, I gotta clap it up. I do use Google on a daily. But don't think me as a hypocrite. No. It's because I use Google so much, so frequently, that I have some legitimate, not complaints, but legitimate, how shall I say this? Beyond concerns, legitimate gripes, I'll say. Okay. First of all, Chrome is beastly. Let's talk about what it is. I've been using Google as the search engine. Phenomenal for the most part. Sometimes it's but phenomenal for the most part as a search engine. When you get to the legit status that your doggone a noun becoming a verb. I mean, Facebook tweet, I tweet. But Google it. You don't, well, you do say ask it, but it's not for ask.com. You don't say Bing it. Nah, get that out. You don't say Yahoo it. You don't say Yahoo it. You say Google it. Google that bumbleclot. Now, that's great. Chrome is beastly, as I've already stated. Talking about Google Plus. It's a phenomenal addition to social media. One of the only social media sites I have. I have about, let's see, less than 5. I know that much. Less than 5 or less. Whatever. Not only that, you know, of course, dealing with YouTube. It's YouTube, the first ever true social media, the best social media site, bar none, on the web. I mean, come on, it's YouTube. If you don't know YouTube, come on, everybody knows YouTube, and for good reason. YouTube brings that fire. Even though it has its problems, it brings that fire. And the way it deals with the amount of content and yet still flows fluidly for the most part, clap it up to Google. I mean, YouTube. Google has played some part in that, I will admit. Google Hangouts, phenomenal connector of connectors. Okay, Google Hangouts, use that. It allows so much, you know, live streams, hangout calls, and all that jazz. But that's where the buck stops, because they got to begin with exposing nonsense with Google Hangouts. This app. Do you know how many problems I personally have had with Google Hangouts? Do you know how many times I've been kicked out of calls because it's Google? You know how many connection issues people have had when you're in the middle of calls? You can be in mid-sentence and be kicked out. The entire app just shuts down. I use often on the phone. That's the only way I can use the bot. Oh yeah, another thing, I couldn't download it on my computer. I don't know why certain computers, the compatibility with Google Hangouts does not work. Don't know why. It makes no damn sense. Sometimes live streams, sometimes have been cut off. Sometimes you've been out of live streams you don't even recognize. There's weird caps at certain times with live streams. Sometimes comment section, like just different crap. Okay, the app on the phone was slow to change. Okay, slow to update with the rest of the sense. I mean, yo, Google Hangouts. Seriously, y'all call crap. I call it out all the time. The audio gets steadily screwed up. Okay, consistently and steadily screwed up. I'm not even playing. If you ever dealt with Google Hangouts, you know what the hell I'm talking about. What the hell I'm talking about? That, yes. I'm talking about the real, y'all. The real. But beyond that, Google, y'all search engine. Sometimes that junk sucks. Sometimes it's a bunch of popularity. Like, sometimes it doesn't even give you the junk in which you freaking search. If it's something more of the rare kind, good luck with finding it. Or good luck with finding a legit source. Okay? You gotta... Like, ain't nobody trying to flip through 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages, dog. Normally y'all good. Y'all surface the junk. But I don't know, for whatever reason. And then they try to give you stuff that they want to give you. Like, come on, bro. I understand sometimes if it's paid or if it's connected with YouTube. If it's not connected with YouTube or paid, you're pretty much screwed. Okay? If it's not a big site, you're screwed. We're trying to find the answer. Alright? Doggone, but y'all know I gotta get it. I gotta get it. What? Google Plus next. Before I get to the big YouTube. Google Plus. Phenomenal. But the Google Plus shift over. I've talked about it in the past. Do y'all remember? I remember I was on YouTube. I was on the video. Now, I hadn't switched to, I didn't have a Google Plus account. Didn't need one. Okay? People I had for like a year. I had no use for it. I was in the middle of watching a video and they forced me to switch. That transition was one of the worst things done in internet history. This sucker, I mean, come on. You can't comment, you could not reply. I wouldn't say depressed, but I was very much disheartened by the transition. You couldn't reply to all comments. It took forever to find your inbox. It didn't matter because you couldn't reply anyway. A lot of people at that time, the first 48, 72 hours, maybe even 96 hours, didn't even switch over, didn't even have a Google Plus account. So you couldn't even interact properly. It was like, you didn't warn us, but you just forced this. You didn't give us no kind of choices. There was no kind of transitional period. No, you didn't force it. In place, you should have at least given like a couple months window or something. 6 months window, but no, total switch over. Screw you. I don't want to be obscene in it, but screw you. Okay? And Google Plus. For the amount of troll, like, it allows all these accounts, dog. All these ridiculous accounts. It allows ridiculous practices. Okay? Google Plus, the overall, I mean, they do have a lot of phenomenal. The messaging is way better. I will clap it up for that. Applaud for the messaging system. Is way better for the most part. It allows certain things in this new interface. I see some cool stuff. I'm gonna be going through Google Plus on the daily, multiple times a day, easy. And sometimes with the notifications to your devices don't always be consistent, dog. That's another thing they gotta work on a little bit. It's a secondary issue, but it's something they need to consider. Because sometimes it'll go to, for example, to my phone. Other times the notifications do not go to my phone, especially if they're just likes. Okay, I can understand not blowing my phone every time, but sometimes I don't even see notifications. And then when I click on the bell thing, they don't even give the proper notification, man. Like they put it in your past chunk even though you ain't checked that crap yet. Like, gotta fix some of that junk. Little small details really do add up and matter over time, right? But to the nitty gritty, that is YouTube. Now, YouTube, look, everyone knows. Look, I've been around, and I've said this before. I've been on YouTube since 06, right? Pretty much since the beginning of YouTube. I've had a channel since 08, so I'm an old time. Especially, and then I've been in the YouTube anime and manga community, for those who know, since 2012. Okay, I'm an OG when it comes to this. When it comes to YouTube, I'm a triple OG. Now, and when I say triple OG, I've been in Flame Wars, I've been I don't know how many comments I've posted, I don't know how many views of videos I've done. I'm up there. Hundreds of thousands, easy. Yeah, hundreds of thousands, easy. If not millions. I don't know how many videos I've viewed at this point. I don't know how much time I've had on YouTube and otherwise over the years, right? It was definitely the first social media site I was in, by easily. For MySpace, for Facebook, all that. It was the wildest. Everything was pretty much going. There's a few things like porn pretty much was taking on, that was pretty much a no-no. But everything else, but it wasn't a lot as bad like the porn stuff. This stuff wouldn't be, going to YouTube, because dudes were just posting, it was YouTube. It was really what it was about. It was the people. It found communities started forming, different junk all over. And it allowed connection worldwide like you never had before. Okay? It all began to change. It's like, I ain't trying to make this Avatar The Last Airbender. It all changed when the Fire Nation attacked. No. It all changed when Vivo began to monetize. Vivo started taking over crap, right? And it started beginning with music, and just videos started just getting axed. And you had companies just start axing things. And eventually Google took over. And when Google took over, things began to change. And not only then things begin to change, yo, the amount of transitions in school, like the layouts, fortunately isn't doing like anymore. But you would have a good layout. You would get used to that. Screw you, forget you. It began to get worse than Facebook. And y'all remember when Facebook was changing, not even every year, like every, I don't even know, 6 months, 3 months. It just was stupid. It was stupid the amount of changes and layouts and whatnot YouTube was doing. It made no damn sense. You couldn't find stuff. It was just frustrating for the users. Uploading issues, like, it is cool for monetization. Look, I call it what it is, you know, people getting that money is cool. But I mean, it is, we want freedom back. I know I do as an old YouTuber. And it's not nostalgia, it's knowing the good old times we had and dealing with the corporate BS. And with this corporate BS, you've had the troll, you had the oversaturation in certain communities like the YouTube and anime manga, YouTube anime and manga community, excuse me. I don't know, the gaming community had a bunch of nonsense. Then you had a bunch of other communities dealing with a bunch of nonsense. See, people in it because they money hungry. Okay, they greedy. They ain't in it for the love. They ain't in it because that back in the day, that's what dudes used to be about. It wasn't this, all this and that. Now some dudes got big time. Some dudes, you know, made careers and whatnot. You know, you got AGT, America's Got Talent. People got noticed in different things. And it's phenomenal. YouTube, I love it. But I gotta call out the problems. And most of them are linked to Google now. Because Google owns it, cracker. Okay, let's be real. So, overall, man, yo, Google, I gotta get y'all act together. I will keep calling you out. I will keep saying in Hangouts and live stream. I don't care. Look, till I get silenced, till dudes come to try to assassinate me, assassinate my channel, I will continue to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I keep it 1,000, ladies and gents. That's just all I know how to do. Unexpected one, to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on Google, your issues, problems, what you love about it, what you hate about it. It is what it is. Y'all know how I be. I'm the voice for the people. Alright, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.